Live from New York. It's the show that is wishing Dan a happy internship. 3 more days left, Dan. I'll never forget you.
What up, bro?
You really didn't have much prep for today.
Well, it's Dan's
and
there's the
we have
last
2
day.
interns, by the way. Shout out Bailey. As well.
Bailey's not here.
She's on the same time.
Today.
Go ahead.
Well, are you okay with him saying this? I assume you
Well,
are.
he's 1,000% accurate. And what the Chiefs have done over the last 4 years is one of the 5 best 4-year runs in the history of the sport. In the Super Bowl era. So if we go from the Super Bowl era, I shouldn't say history of the sport. But the Dolphins in the 70s went to 3 Super Bowls, won 2. The Cowboys, obviously, in the 90s, in a 4-year stretch, went to 3 Super Bowls, won all 3. The Patriots in the early 2000s, in a 4-year stretch, went to 3 Super Bowls, missed the playoffs once in the midst of it, won all 3. And the Patriots in the mid
Steelers,
2010.
70s?
The Steelers, the problem for what the Chiefs have done in the last 4 is more impressive than any 4-year run for the Steelers because they won 2, then didn't get back there for 2, and then won another 2. If the Chiefs
But that's 3 in 5 years.
Well, so that's where I'm getting to right here. If the Chiefs win this year, it's the best 5-year run in the history of the sport. Bar none, hands down. No team will have had more Super Bowls in a 5-year stretch. No team will have had more appearances. The Chiefs, over the last 4 years, their wins per year are 15, 16, 14, 17. They don't have a bad season in the midst of it. They don't have a missed playoff appearance, a horrible playoff appearance. Their only losses would be in overtimes of conference championship games or the first ever road Super Bowl in the history of the league. So they're 1 year away from the best 5-year run in the history of the sport. That, by definition, would be a dynasty. So, yeah, I mean, he's 100% correct.
Well, and when you throw in the fact that it's during the free agency era, and they lost their best receiver. It'd be like, I mean, he's not Jerry Rice, but like if Montana had lost Rice during that run. If Bradshaw had lost Lynn Swann or John Stallworth. I mean, like, it is incredible if they go ahead and win the Super Bowl. I love what he said. I agree with Nick. It's absolutely true. Everybody knows it. And I like the fact that he said it because it does send a message. I don't think he was trying to send a message. I think he's just speaking matter-of-factly and speaking honestly. He wasn't bragging or anything. But it does send a message to the opponents that they're not resting on their laurels. They're not satisfied. Like, this dude is like Tom Brady. He just wants to go out and win it every single year, and he's not going to get the big head. So, yeah, I'm cool with it.
I agree.
So, what are you giggling about? Well, no. Here's
the thing.
He's going to drive me crazy, man.
When this first happened, when Mahomes first signed his contract, remember we were on Zoom and there was a lot of we're a dynasty. They just won. Like, we're going to start stacking championships. And Mahomes, they posted a picture where he looked like the Night King. Remember that from Game of Thrones? Yeah. And they started talking dynasty early, and I was really on my high horse. Talking about, you know what, Patriots are the dynasty, you guys aren't the dynasty.
Yeah, that's when the Patriots were in a gap year.
We were in a gap
when
year,
you thought the Patriots dynasty was still going on.
Yeah, we were over there. We went to the Louvre, and we were like smoking French cigarettes.
And you mocked the Chiefs, and that's why people didn't like you at the parade, and that's why
everyone loved me at the parade. I was a big hit.
But something has happened.
Well, I did some math, because as the last person of the dynasty here, Super Bowl off year, then you go back to back if you win it. That's kind of what we did. You took 2 years off. Personnel, legendary quarterback, and then a great coach, great tight ends. That works too. Yeah. So I'm ready to become a Chiefs fan, officially.
No.
We're all Chiefs fans. No. We're all Chiefs fans on the show. If you want to sit here and mock me and say Mac Jones is no good, I agree with you. But now we're both Chiefs fans.
So now you're abandoning Mac Jones?
No. I'm just.
You just said I agree with you when he said Mac Jones.
No. I agree with you that all of the good things that he says about the Chiefs, when he wants me to push back, I'm not going to play your game anymore.
Well, I'm going to be honest, because we do all love the Chiefs.
No, hold on. You guys are driving me crazy.
Love the Chiefs.
You picked against them. Hold on.
I'm not going to pick them every year.
I love
LeBron. I'm not going to pick LeBron every year.
Just wait a second here. All year long, you were advocating for the Bills. The moment they got bounced, You then flip to the Bengals.
I'm from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from Cincinnati. Nick, who was the first?
No, don't do this.
Who was the
You guys,
first
we have
person
to-
in media nationally to say that Patrick Mahomes
Me.
is Jordan-esque and will be the GOAT?
No, the
you.
GOAT thing was me, undeniably.
What?
I thought it was you.
Undeniably.
Most people
you
thought,
have-
Sports Illustrated thought it was me too.
Okay.
So it's me. All right? So the only thing I don't like about the Chiefs is their obnoxious super fan that's sitting right across the table. That is it.
But even that, it rubbed off of me a little bit. I watch all the games. I consume all the media. I went to the parade. Everybody's nice. I don't have any gear
The
yet.
barbecue was good too.
Yeah, it was great.
Barbecue was good.
I mean, it's just fantastic.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the Super Bowl odds. Our Chiefs at number
Every
1.
year, though. They won't
Eagles
win it every
at
year.
2. Bills in the 3 spot. Bengals and 49ers are tied. Then it's the Cowboys in 6th. Brew, who is the most formidable threat to our Chiefs?
I'm baffled because the most formidable threat. And let me say this caveat: we have not made our official picks yet.
Sure.
We obviously know who Nick's gonna pick.
Me too, probably.
But we are going. We'll make our picks before the season,
Yeah.
so I do reserve the right
Of course,
to change
in
my mind.
pencil.
Yeah.
However, I cannot believe that the most formidable threat to the Chiefs. Show that list again. They're not on it.
Wow.
What is not to like about the Baltimore Ravens?
Well,
I'm serious. What is not to like? They got a great coach. The defense is always sturdy, right? Top 5 in points allowed for the last 5 years. Quarterback who I expect to have a monster year. All right, we know he can run the football, best we've ever seen doing that. I think he's going to throw it well. They finally got some receivers on the outside for him. Obviously, you still got Mark Andrews at the tight end. Look, and here's the other thing, and we're going to throw up this chart. You guys have seen it before, but it is not for the guy we usually put it up for.
What?
It is Dusty. Can I see the chart?
yeah, Dusty.
Yeah,
I think I'm waiting. There it is. Lamar Jackson. I know we usually do it for Jimmy G, but Lamar Jackson, look at that.
You just love this stat.
It's
so
true.
much.
He's not like Jimmy G though, because he has individual numbers to go along with the wins.
True.
Yeah.
He is the reason they win. 8-4 with him last year, 2-5 without him. They beat Cincinnati in the regular season. We saw the playoff game, almost beat him with Tyler Huntley. And so, Nick, you can't tell me you don't think the Ravens are going to be.
So I think the Ravens are a very good answer because the Ravens are the team that the Ravens are the only team in the league that if they were playing the Chiefs and the Chiefs play their A game, I think the Ravens could still win. Because
the Ravens can score 35 points.
I saw it. I saw the Ravens have the highest scoring
played them
offense in the
tough.
league. You know,
Right.
Lamar's not rookie season, but his MVP season. I have seen because the Ravens are so unique. When they are firing on all cylinders, they almost feel like you're not playing a different sport, but playing such a different type of
Their own
opponent.
style, yeah.
Their own style. And so they're not my answer, but I think that's a totally legitimate opinion. And more than that, the reason they're not on there is twofold. One is, and it's both Lamar related.
Injuries?
One is injuries, and the other is the other quarterbacks on there are better at the easy stuff historically than Lamar has been, and people don't yet fully trust that Lamar will consistently do the easy things at a high level. But that is a different question, really, than in a game where Lamar's firing, can he look like the most dangerous player in the league?
And I'm expecting a jump in his passing game.
Well,
I'm expecting a jump. And if you get that, now all
correct.
bets are off.
And the flip side is if you don't, then the Ravens are in real trouble because they've now paid him like he's a great quarterback. They've given him the weapons and they've added a new offensive coordinator expecting to jump. I don't want to give my answer yet because I want to hear you.
Well, I took this from Brew. I obviously think it's Cincinnati. Although I am a Chiefs fan, first and foremost, when you look at the numbers, just straight facts,
Okay.
Joe Burrow is right there.
No, he's not. You have to stop that.
What?
He's not right there.
Hey, pretty close.
No, he's not.
27-12 and 31-9 is pretty good. And there's 3-1 head-to-head.
Okay.
You got one win off the guy.
Okay,
so
go
you
ahead.
play
I'll let
you
you
play
pick.
on New Year's Eve.
The Bengals
if he gets
are right there.
If he gets
what you're saying.
I'm sorry,
Burrow's not Mahomes, but right?
No,
You agree.
Burrow
but the Bengals are right there.
Burrow is not Mahomes. Nobody is Mahomes. Mahomes is the best. But if they play on December 31st and he gets another win and he's 4-1, are we going to sit here and say that, the Chiefs are consistent or don't belong in the same class? He's 4-1.
Oh, okay, so two things. Before I even say some Bengals, can we have a moment of silence here if we could? For the big bad Buffalo Bills. Man, grand opening, grand
Greg
closing.
was here,
No, I doubt it. I think Greg's off that too. I just know that for a calendar year that I was being dishonest in not believing in the Bills, and now you're to the Ravens, you're to the Bengals.
I'm just putting a full screen up.
No.
I like the Chiefs.
No. Oh, I forget that you like the Chiefs now. But the Bills are not my answer either.
They're not a contender.
But they're not. But
look,
nobody thinks they're a threat to the Chiefs. I'm just saying. I'm glad everyone's caught up on the Bills. Now to the Bengals. Listen. The reason I do not think it is close, and the reason the Bengals are not my answer, is because the Bengals had temporarily, I think, an edge that they needed, which was the psychological edge, which is we keep beating you guys. Mm-hmm. And then in a game to get back to the Super Bowl with our quarterback on one leg, they couldn't. And now I think Cincinnati, on the cusp of having to pay everyone and doing all the chattering that they have done, I think Cincinnati this year could suffer somewhat of a similar fate. Because remember, last year, I was a big advocate of the Bengals. I was saying the Bengals should have gotten all the respect Buffalo was getting. Mm-hmm. I think now Cincinnati, unfortunately, is going to get something else Buffalo got last year, which is a bit of its comeuppance, a bit of a pump the brakes. Okay. So my answer, the biggest challenger to a Chiefs repeat, the team that would have the best chance in a one-off playoff game of beating Kansas City, my answer is the Chargers. And it is because I bet I might be able to convince you. First of all is this. If they were to play in the playoffs, it would be the third time that season they are getting a look at the Chiefs. Okay. That is a potential inherent edge, especially if Kansas City swept them as they typically do in the AFC West under Mahomes. The second reason is this. They now have 3 super high-level receivers. They spent their first-round pick on the kid from TCU that I actually wanted Kansas City to potentially draft, Quentin Johnson. We know they still have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. They also have, if healthy, as good of a pair of pass rushers as you have in the league in Mack and Bosa to be able to get pressure on the quarterback without sending it the blitz. They have a better offensive coordinator now that they brought in Kellen Moore. I think that's an upgrade for them. And is there a possibility that Herbert is going to look at this offseason as, Rocky in Siberia and Rocky Forward? It's like, man, my moment is going to pass me by if I don't jump right now.
He needs
like that. I was supposed to be in this class of the great young quarterbacks, and then a guy who's in the class after me just beat me in the playoffs in Trevor. Everyone's now talking about Burrow. Allen was already there. Mahomes is in this different stratosphere. Mm. So for all those reasons, you guys know I felt this way about the Chargers last year. Nobody scares me for the Chiefs, but the Chargers would be a pain in the ass to play in the playoffs, so they would be my answer.
Okay. If Kellen Moore lets him throw the ball a little bit more. Throw it around.
Yeah, well, I think he will, right?
Yeah,
I think that they're probably going to throw the ball more.
Mr. Consistency, that's the lead. You talked about three-peat. You kind of buried it a little bit. You mentioned three-peat in a weird and wonderful.
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But
you mentioned it, so we don't quite know what to. Are you putting a stake in the ground and saying this one's guaranteed? We now have it on the bar. Yeah. Are you ready to officially announce this three-peat? It is on the bar.
I just think there's steps.
Remember, it's never been done in the history of the NFL.
You want to know something very interesting about not just sports but life? Everything that's ever been done before it had been done had never been done. So literally ever, and so eventually, it's a tautology, but it's true. So here's the thing. I obviously believe the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I also think they're going to have a top 10 defense this year, which is going to be one of the reasons that the other thing that I've kind of flirted with, the undefeated notion, is on the board. But I'd like to show the Chiefs' schedule, because you talked about, Brew, them needing to stay motivated. I think they have a bunch of really good benchmarks throughout the schedule to go to, and it culminates in something.
Okay.
So week 1 is obvious. It's first game of the year. You're hanging the banner, doing all that stuff.
Yep.
Week 2, revenge on the team that had the audacity to hurt Patrick. Now, I'm sorry, Trevor, but that team did hurt Patrick in an obviously dirty play the NFL considered outlawing. So there you get up for that. Week 4, chance to maybe just kind of end the Jets season first month.
Love it.
If you believe the Jets can't beat the Patriots, if that's the case, they could be 0-3 going into that game.
Love it.
Week 6. Week 6 and 8, actually. You know what? Sean Payton, Denver Broncos, we beat you twice in 15 days and just end you. And
they played you tough.
Yeah, no. I'm saying this is what would happen there. One of those played you tough games, by the way, started out 28-0, and you just can't stop. I don't even know.
How
I know
long's
they
the
lost.
game?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
60 minutes.
And then another, a month later, Super Bowl rematch. The Dolphins.
You just going over that.
No. Super Bowl rematch with Philly.
Yeah.
But then there's a very interesting thing, Brew, that I don't think you know about. Or not that you don't know, but you hadn't realized, because I didn't realize it till this morning. So the Chiefs have won 8 consecutive games. 5 in a row in the regular season, 3 playoff games. The all-time record for consecutive wins, playoffs and regular season combined, is the 03-04 Patriots at 21. So for the Chiefs to beat that record, they would have to start 14-0. What is their 14th game of the season?
Would love it.
At New England on Monday Night Football
That would be
to get their 22nd consecutive
You're coming
win.
over way too far.
I'm not going for the Chiefs.
No, he's saying no.
I would.
You want New England to beat them.
I'm ready to call upset over right now.
Okay. That's your thing.
I think the way the schedule,
That's a tough schedule, though, Nick.
Well, listen, they're in a tough division, and they have the best record every year. So, yeah, they're going to have tough schedules. But luckily, as I said, since Mahomes has been there, their worst season, they won 13 games. So I don't think I'm not that worried about it. But if they're going to, as far as try to go undefeated or stay motivated throughout the year, there are nice little, every few weeks, benchmarks for them to hit.
All right, here's first of all, let's get number 2 before they get talking 3-peat.
Well, that is how
But let me throw this out there. Because I'm going to give you something. I have said, as the one who said he could be the GOAT, the first one to say he could be the GOAT. He doesn't have to win 7. I don't even think he has to win 6. If he wins 5, but if he does things that Brady never did, right? 20-0. And obviously winning the Super Bowl, Brady didn't finish that year off with the Super Bowl. And a 3-peat, the first in the history of the league. Well, those are things, and then you mentioned 21. Right. If you win 5 and you do those two things that Brady never did.
And it'd be over. My point is that'd be over. If the Chiefs go undefeated this year and then go for a 3-peat, it's over. The best player ever debate is over. The best coach.
Maybe. I'm not going to say not, because we'd see in the moment. But 7-4 is a big difference.
Yeah, it is. It's almost double.
Unlike Brady, he's going to be the driving force behind every one of those Super Bowls that they win.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm just going to throw those out there as well.
Okay.
That, if Patrick can do that.
He has 4, no. 7-4.
How many's he got to win to be the GOAT?
Wildes is a ring counting guy. He's a ring counting guy. He's a Bill Russell is the best player ever.
Is Bill Russell the GOAT?
Yes, he is to Wildes. Yeah, he is to Wildes.
You can't say
a little bit.
Yeah, no little bit. There's no little bit.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.